upon a time, and by once upon a time, I mean like 1030 to 1010 BC, so like 3,000 years ago, there was a shepherd boy named David. David was a son of Jesse and the ancestor of Jesus, like later on in his life, and he lived in Bethlehem. So this is David. Yeah, he's beautiful. The king of Israel when David was alive was named Saul, or like when he was young, not when he was alive. Well, he was. Okay. Okay. So the current king of Israel was named Saul, and he had been crowned when he was a very faithful man to God. But as he got older, he kind of grew away from God and started like making bad decisions and not being trusting and stuff. And so God decided that he needed to be replaced. So he sent the prophet Samuel to choose a new king, Saul. There was an army of Philistines attacking Israel when David was just a little teenager dude. And so the Philistines had this challenge that they kept presenting to the Israelites. There was one giant Philistine, like 9 or 10 feet tall, named Goliath. And the Philistines said that if any of the Israelites could defeat Goliath in one-on-one combat, then the Israelites just won. The Philistines wouldn't fight back anymore. But the issue is all of the Israelites were too scared to do it because Goliath was like a ginormous like person and stuff. But David volunteered. He was like, "Hey, I'll go do it." And Saul was like, because David was like a teenager. But David said that he trusted in God to help him. And so Saul let him do it because he didn't really have another choice. And David threw a rock from a slingshot, hit Goliath in the head, and Goliath went, oh, and like died and stuff. I just got out of the frame. Okay. And then all of the Israelites thought that David was like amazing and stuff. Because I mean, this is a teenager like beating up this 10-foot dude. And Saul got jealous of that because people were saying that David would make a better king than Saul would. And yeah, so Saul was sad. That's not good. David became kind of a servant of Saul, and he would play the harp for Saul because Saul was affected by a demon that was actually sent by God. But whenever the demon came on Saul, he would start like freaking out and trying to kill David and like attempting to stab him with spears and stuff. But David would play this lovely harp, and it calmed Saul down. And yes, and Saul knew that this was the power of God in David, but that just made him even more determined to kill David because he was jealous. Because he's that guy. Yay. Saul was like really, really jealous of David at this point, so he decided to have David killed so that David would no longer be a threat to the kingship. And see, he's got a sword, and he was like, I'm gonna go stab David in his sleep. But David's wife, who also just so happened to be Saul's daughter, tricked Saul so that David could escape. And yeah, David got away and stuff. But then Saul was pretty mad at his daughter because, she like kind of betrayed him and stuff. So that's sad. There's Saul being all stabby at David. Just running away and stuff. Once Saul was in a cave, just like casually going to the bathroom and stuff, and David saw him in the cave and was like, "Hey, I could kill Saul and get rid of all my problems," because Saul was being like very mean to David, trying to kill him every few weeks, lots of adversity. But David was like, I shouldn't kill the Lord's anointed because God had specifically anointed Saul as king. And that covenant still stands even though Saul wasn't like a good king. So David snuck up to Saul and cut off the corner of his robe and then just kind of left. And a bit later he showed it to Saul and was like, I could have killed you, but I decided not to because you're God's anointed. And Saul was like, and yeah. So then the Amalekites attacked the Israelites and took a bunch of people captive, including both of David's wives. He had 2 wives. Yeah. And David decided that, hey, they can't take my wives. So he went out and hunted them down, killed them all, and took back all of the people that they had captured with the help of God. Not that they had captured with the help of God, but he took them back with the help of God. And there are David's wives being carried off happily. And, and David was like, so